what's up? It's Kathy and I'm back with another process video. This one is for a new paper issues challenge that is basically the I can't talk today. I'm already terrible. Okay, it's the Take 5 Tuesday challenge. Um, and this is a great challenge because she has a whole list of different things you can choose from. You can pick 5. I think I went a little bit overboard and picked way more than 5 just because some of the items that were on her list I end up using on pretty much any layout anyway, like chipboard. I always love using chipboard. So anyway, so I probably did a little bit more than 5, but they're great little jumping off prompt points to get you started if you're kind of in a rut. And I definitely get into scrappy ruts. I know a lot of us do. So I like having some prompts or guidelines sometimes. Same thing as doing like a scrap lift or using a sketch. It's kind of like a jumping off point. You already know the basis of something. Maybe you know colors you're going to use or how many photos you're going to use because of the, you know, what it's one of the prompts. Anyway, totally go participate in the challenge because you can enter to win prizes by putting your photo in the challenge thread. So, I mean, why not, right? I mean, if you're going to follow the prompts anyway, might as well. And there's a ton of new stuff in the paper issue shop right now that would go well with these prompts. I know that Mint was one of them. Using chipboard, and there's tons of chipboard. Peach was another one. I love the combination of mint and peach. So anyway, let's continue on. I'm using a few different Maggie Holmes collections interspersed. I'm thinking that the background that I'm using and the picture with, I'm gonna say it's a jackalope because it's not a deer and it's not a rabbit because its ears are too long to be a rabbit, or sorry, to be a deer, and it's a rabbit with antlers, which is a jackalope, which is not a real thing, but anyway. Super cute paper. I love all the colors. It has mint in it. It has the peach. It's playing into the background. I'm thinking those are from the same collection, but they might not because I have several different Maggie Holmes collections. The pink that I'm going to use is from the new Maggie Holmes collection, Chasing Dreams, which you can get right now. And the paper pad papers that I have there, I believe were from Echo Park, and that was their fall collection from this year. So it's relatively new, and it matched well. The yellows matched well, and the orange, I mean, it really, there was no other orange in the in any of the papers, but of course there was orange in the picture, so it kind of helped bring that out. And I actually like the combination of like an orange and a yellow and a pink together. I think it looks really cool. So I was just kind of bringing in all those colors together. I'm just doing some layering. I didn't want it to just be all the way around, and well, obviously it couldn't because the pictures are bigger than 4x6, than a 4x6 sheet. I printed this out on an 8.5 by 11, and I put some other pictures on it as well, just so I wasn't wasting the sheet. And so the each picture I think is like 2.5 by 3, something like that, with a white border inside. So I don't back those photos onto like white cardstock. I just keep them, I just separate them all in Photoshop and cut it out like that. So the collage is all done. That way I don't have to worry about stuff falling off. Anywho, because it's longer than a 6x6 paper pad, I obviously can't go completely around with every single different pattern of paper. And I don't really like doing that anyway because then it just looks like I did a ton of frames around the picture. over and over again, as opposed to doing it this way where you can see it sometimes and sometimes you can't. I kind of, in a, like I used this brown wood grain, and half the reason I used it was because there, some of the jackalopes, I am calling them jackalopes from now on, just so you know, had brown in them. But I had grabbed that Dear Lizzie 6x6 paper from Take Me Away, and it was blue, and there was some dark blue navy kind of jackalopes in the background paper, which was why I grabbed the navy blue. And in hindsight, though I really like it with the brown because it makes the picture warmer, if you know what I mean. Sometimes the the color that you use uh, to back your photos with, or the colors that you choose, can affect how your photos look. Sometimes if you place them with a very like warm color palette, the picture will actually take on a warm tone. And then if you do that with the cool color palette, it will take on a cool tone. So you could actually take the exact same photo and put it on like two different pieces of paper, like a blue and a red, for instance. That's pretty much the most generic cool and warm you can get. And you will notice that your photos do look different, even though they're the exact same photo. So when I put it on the navy blue, I kind of liked how that looked. But the brown definitely brought out like the brown in her clothing. She has very warm clothes on. So I end up going with the wood grain, but the blue would have worked just as well. Except I didn't have a big piece of it, so it wouldn't be quite what it is right now. Anyway, so I'm going to grab some chipboard. I guess it must be from Open Book, because that was the chipboard that I grabbed, and it had that same image that was on the background. So obviously it was from the Open Book collection. So that piece at the top that kind of looks like a bow that says Happy Heart is actually just a big open book that says Happy Heart, and two of the pages are folded to look like a heart. So it's a really big piece of chipboard, and I was kind of looking at it, and it was like, that would make a really cool, like a framing piece, something that kind of went on the bottom of a picture or the top of a picture. But when was I going to ever use it? Because I don't know, it is quite large, and it's a little of an odd piece. So originally I put it up there on the top, and I find it's kind of cute. Looks like a bow, almost looks like I've made a present, and that's the bow on top. But I do in the end move it, and that's just so that I can allow for a title. Using a frame or two or more was one of the prompts. So I loved that little circular leaf looking frame, which is kind of is just a garland or a wreath, but I'm using it as a frame to frame out the middle picture. And thankfully it didn't really obscure anything in the other two pictures. So I thought that was really cute. That flowers from chipboard from the Wonder Collection. Yeah, I'm bringing in a ton of chipboard because one of the prompts was chipboard. So that flower is from the Wonder Collection. I know I eventually do leave that in. I think I just move it from that position. I'm debating where I want, pretty much, yeah, there we go. I'm debating where I want stuff. And I do end up leaving this layout for, I think, a couple of hours and coming back to it because I had to go do stuff like, I don't know, cook supper or go do lunch, something that took me away. That jar is from Craft Market, which was an older crepe paper collection, which I think there's actually still a little bit of in the paper issue store. And I was like, when am I ever gonna use this jar? There was one with like a bunny on top, and it was smaller, and I have used it, but I was like, when am I ever gonna use this jar? And sometimes when I have stuff like that, and I don't want to necessarily go super theme oriented, so using this jar kind of works really well. It brings in the blue. It's a large piece of chipboard like the flower, so I'm kind of balancing it out. I bring in that little floral, which is another piece of chipboard, and that's from the Wonder Collection. The heart is from Maggie Holmes, one of the Maggie Holmes. The arrow from One Canoe 2 with crepe paper. That's the One Canoe 2 Hazelwood collection. I just liked that arrow. I thought it was cute. I move it and put it on top of the jar in a little bit. The You Are So Lovely sticker is from the new Rhapsody collection from Photoplay. The banner sticker that I'm fiddling around with is from the Wonder Collection sticker sheet. So another prompt was stickers. So I got stickers in. Anyway, so another prompt was leaves, and I have a leaf in there, and flowers was another one. Okay, you noticed me kind of go past all that stuff. So basically that was me coming back after, and I moved a lot of stuff around, and then I started filming. So you can see the jackalopes in a different place. I took out this chipboard. This is Pure Joy. The 2 leaves are from the new Maggie Holmes ephemera. The happy heart got moved to the bottom. Now I did this Best Day Ever. I actually did this a while ago, and this was from, I think, the Maggie Holmes Shine collection. It was wood veneers, and I did like taped it off and did half with gold embossing powder, and then I just had it because I was testing out embossing powder for the first time. So I finally was like, you know what? This is a really tall title. I need a good big piece of space taken up there, so why not? So I needed something in the top because I felt it was kind of disconnected up there. And one of the other prompts was twine. So or stitching. So I decided to wrap some twine around. So it's just some brown twine from my stash. And this is an old button from my stash as well. I just liked that it was black and plaid. I thought that was kind of cute. Another prompt was to use 3 or more words in your title. So there's another prompt is I did that. I did the twine. I did 3 more pictures. I did frames, chipboard, stickers, pattern paper, of course. How am I not going to use pattern paper? Have I ever not used pattern paper? Leaves, flowers, yeah, mint, peach. I kind of went to town on it. I had a lot of fun, actually. And yeah, I'm scrapping out of order, obviously, because this is a fall picture from like 2 years ago, and it's still winter here. So I love doing that as well. Inspiration comes from anywhere, and you don't have to scrap in the summer. If you don't have to scrap summer photos in the summer, and you don't have to scrap winter photos in the winter. Just do what you want. That's how I look at it. So anyway, this is almost done. I'm going to be doing some misting. Pictures are coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of yous. And if you're shopping at Paper Issues, you can use the code CATMARTIN and you'll get 20% off, which is awesome. We have a spring crop coming up, I think next week or the week after, next week. So anyway, thank you everybody who watches. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited that I have reached 2,000 subscribers, a little over 2,000 subscribers, which is insane. I am so giddy about that. I love doing these videos and I love how much people appreciate them. So yeah, best day ever. It totally is. Anyway, yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to use a bronze Hide to Swap Color Shine. I was going to use gold, but I went with the bronze. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Anyway, so have an awesome day, guys. Bye.